Well, yesterday you kind of looked and sounded different to a lot of people who hadn't seen you for a while. Did you get any feedback from people who saw you on TV, or did you see yourself on TV, and what did you think? A lot of people seem concerned, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
A lot of you guys.
A lot of fans.
Well, we left State College early in the morning. I had a tough weekend. A good friend of ours had a 50th wedding anniversary. We opened up we had a big dinner for the opening up of the new wing of the hospital. So I had and that was tied in with a lot of staff meetings. Maybe I was a little tired. I didn't feel it, but I may have. Certainly got nothing to do with my health.
Dude, do you have a bucket list? A bucket list? There's things that you still want to do in your life that...
A bucket list?
I call it a bucket list. Just a list of things you want to do before...
Before I what, die?
Yeah.
Jeez, I grew up,
You never heard that term before, bucket list?
Never heard of it.
They made a movie about it.
Morgan Freeman.
Jack Nicholson, where they did all these goofy things before they...
I've been in about 4 movies in the last 35 years. I think the last one I saw was Amadeus. What was it, Amadeus?
Amadeus, yeah.
I think that's
good movie.
Huh?
It's a good movie.
Oh, it's a real good movie. Really good movie. No, I don't. No, I really don't. I'd be dishonest if I told you I did. But I'm sure there'll be a day I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to, hey, can you make it? Can you do it? I think the fact that I had some bad luck with the knee and then the hip, and then I got that darn reaction to some things, has led people to think, hey, it's time for you to wind down. They may be right. I don't feel that way. I don't feel I'm not looking around for a bucket. I know that.
Is there something, a place you always wanted to go that you've never gone, or I don't know, just something outside the realm of football that you'd like to do that you've never done?
Yeah, but my wife and I have done a lot of traveling. When we had time off, we've been up and down Spain, up and down Germany. We've been in France, Switzerland, been to Italy 3-4 times total. And I'm fortunate. Sue likes to plan the trips and drive, so we don't have tours. We go where we want to go. We go to pick out off-beaten hotels and things like that. There's some places I'd love to go to Greece. I'd like to go to the Middle East. We were all set to go to the Middle East when all of a sudden I got a couple of telephone calls from some friends of mine saying, don't come now. We don't know what's going to happen. There was turmoil going on. So we backed away from going to the Middle East. But I'd like to go there. I'd like to go to Jerusalem. I'd like to go there. My kids have gone over there, and they've all come back raving about it. I'd like to go to Greece. I took Latin and Greece in high school. And I'd like to, I've got a classical education background. I'd like to just see some of those places that I've heard about. I'd like to, I'm a great fan of Alexander. I think Alexander. I don't want to chase women like he did, but I'm not up to that. Yeah, I'd like to do some of that stuff, but I don't want to give up football to do it.
Do you hear from senior citizens? I'm not talking about Penn State fans. I'm talking about just people who see you still achieving and active and all that, and it means something to them. Do you hear from people around the country about that?
Well, I have people. I'll meet people that are, as I said, I was at a party for the 50th wedding anniversary of an old friend, Penn State, a great guy, and a guy that helped us a great deal early. And there were a couple of guys. There was a guy who was a Lehigh graduate who was 73 or 4. And he said, what do you do to keep in shape? Look good. He said, my wife said that I look 10 years older than you. And you're 10 years older than I am. He said, do you eat enough pasta? And I said, you got a lot of blood in you or not? No, I don't.
Coach, following up on what Mark said a little earlier, it looks like you've lost some weight. Is that true?
I tried to lose it.
Oh, you did? Do you
In
hope
fact, I want to lose it. I'd like to lose another 5-6 pounds. That's the one thing that I worry about right now is that, when you get heavier, your stamina. I don't want to get tired. I don't think that's fair to the football team. So by the time we play a game, I'll be down another 5-6 pounds.
You get your eyes fixed, losing weight. What else are you trying to?
With my eyes?
You had your eyes fixed. You're losing weight. Are you gonna
Well, the eyes would.
get a new hairstyle or something too?
No, what happened was I was having troubles reading, and I called up the eye doctor who had done some work, and I called up Dr. Fine down at Schreier Institute in Philadelphia, Penn. And he said, well, come on down, let me take a look at it. So I get down there, takes a look at it. He says, we got a guy here, and there's an eye doctor there. He's not an African-American, but he's from South America. He said, let him take a look at it. The guy says, can you come back tomorrow? I said, yeah. He said, I think I can help you. I come back. They say, go out in the waiting room. They don't put you to sleep. But, you don't remember everything that happened because of what they did. So after I'm sitting out there half an hour, they get me back in and they give me the eye test. I'm 20/20 after 60 years. I didn't, I just was afraid I was, going the other way. So. And that's the way it is. I don't need glasses anymore. Somebody said, what are you going to do? You're going to, if you go out on a field without glasses, he said, it's going to be people who say, I said, I'm going to get a cigar. They'll think it's Winston Churchill.
You don't need those at all anymore?
The only thing they want me to do is wear them when I'm outside to protect the eyes. I don't need them. I can read without them. In fact, I was just down there about 10 days ago. They wanted to check on some things. As I said, I test 20/20 after 60 years. It's amazing what they're doing.
College football's most famous glasses really aren't needed anymore.
Pardon me?
College football's most famous glasses. We don't need them.
Don't need them, but I'm wondering, so I said they want me to wear them on the outside. Particularly during the game, they're afraid something might happen. Somebody running on me, something like that.
You went like 45 years without being seriously sick or injured or anything, and then a few things happen within a span of 4 or 5 years. Do you ever think maybe this is a sign, or can you not afford to look at it that
I'm
way?
not fatalist. I was a little careless when the kid from Wisconsin hit me in the knee, and then I was stupid. We were out in the practice field. I was trying to show off. They were teasing me about the knee. Be careful. Say, baloney, and I started kicking the ball off and threw the hip out. And that's really what I've had. This last thing I had, you guys, everybody blew it up as if I was sick. I had diarrhea. And I've said, my concern was if I went to some of these affairs, that I'd be there up on talking or answering questions, and all of a sudden, hey, where's the bathroom? And I figured that would be embarrassing. I didn't want to get into that. And I said, So I won't do anything for a couple of months until I'm okay.
Are you concerned at all that you're getting asked so many questions about this and not football?
Yeah,
That the
I
focus
wish
is
you
on
guys would knock it off, to be honest with you. I'm going to start asking you, what's the matter with you? Can't you find a razor? Or